Hello, Professor. Thank you for speaking to me today.
You're welcome.
I know you know Jamie Meade. You've known him for about 10 years, I think.
Yes.
How did you meet him?
Well, he reached out to me because I do aggression research. He was looking for a mentor to get advice from. So,
Yeah.
so I responded, and that's how we met.
Oh, that's wonderful. And obviously, you deem him worth your time mentoring if you're still doing it 10 years later.
Yeah, I think so. Anybody who tries to improve themselves as much as Jamie has tried to improve himself is worth my time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's actually learnt quite a lot. He's got a lot of education, all of it from behind bars, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's incredible. He has a bachelor degree, and I think he graduated, magna cum laude or something. Had a very high grade point average, over 3.8, I believe, and he's interested in getting an MBA, Master's of Business Administration, and also a Master's in Divinity. So yeah, I think anybody who tries to improve themselves and work hard, I want to encourage them as much as I can.
Yes. Well, I was actually very surprised. I've done a lot of online and at home study, and it's difficult enough for me. Obviously, different reasons, but in a prison, that would be incredibly difficult. And I know at the moment they're trying not to let him actually receive his video lectures, and to finish a degree without the actual lectures is a little bit ridiculous. So I think he deserves a lot of credit for that and the determination it would take, because it would be very difficult. Um, I was going to ask you, because you study aggression and violence. When you met Jamie, he was obviously already on his pathway to educating and bettering himself. You're aware of who he was beforehand through conversation, I would imagine. Yeah. I watched I think it was your TED talk, Hangry, and
Yeah.
I'd actually seen it before I knew Jamie and all the rest of it. And I remember something about speaking in complete sentences as a good way to practice self-control. And I remember at the time sort of laughing and sort of thinking that was a strange thing. But when I thought about it, in a way, I can see how it's with education, you're stopping, you're thinking, you're not just blabbering on, you're controlling yourself. And because I know Jamie says education was the most important thing for him. And I thought there was a link there between self-control and education. And it just, for me, that sort of clicked, because once I found out that it was actually your TED talk that I listened to, I thought, oh, how amazing. But you've spoken to, or through email, I think, Jamie's sentencing judge, who actually is also quite supportive of Jamie and the improvements he's made.
She is.
Yeah. I spoke with Jamie's mother last a couple of weeks ago, and she read the letter out of her support. And I always find it quite interesting that especially Jamie has the support of so many different people in so many different areas, and it's not because he's undeserving of it. He's
No, I think he's very deserving of the support that he's received. When he reached out to me, he said he was interested in aggression and violence. So I sent him a book I wrote on the topic, and I sent him a special issue of a journal that I wrote on the topic. And he would ask me for journal articles because they cost money to get. And so I've sent him lots of articles about topics he's interested in, and he's now started a new newsletter called a Lifers Report, and I told him I would distribute that to people who are interested in it, and a few people have reached out to me about that report. So I think he's highly motivated, and very positive person. He doesn't get easily discouraged. He just keeps putting one step in front of the other and keeps trying to improve himself, takes every workshop available or seminar he can take, keeps reading things to
And
learn and grow.
I was going to say, and he supports others too. I mean, I know he's actually been a great help for me too, but I know he supports people inside as well. He's sort of, and I haven't known him long, granted, but he seems to be a waste inside a prison cell, as I know him.
Yeah, he was involved in a Pause for Cause program where he helped train dogs. He sent me photos of the dogs that he's worked with, and so yeah, I think he's interested in making a positive contribution to society, I believe.
Yeah, and the only other thing that I really wondered, and I asked this of everybody, is if you personally could talk to somebody that just had some power in the situation as far as his commutations and things like that, what would you say professionally, and would it be the same personally about him as you know him? What would you say to that person?
Well, I've already done that many times. I've sent letters to many people who are making decisions about whether his sentence should be commuted. And I've never met Jamie personally, but I've talked to him on the telephone many times. I've corresponded with him through JPay. It's like the email system through the prison. And I've told them that, I think he deserves a second chance. I think he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And, there's, of course, the crime is horrible. And he was a party to it, but he wasn't the actual perpetrator. Yeah. So, and he was quite young at the time. I believe he was 19 when this happened. The human brain continues to develop at least into the late 20s, 30s. So
in some people it doesn't develop at all, does it? Until much later.
Right.
Well, I think the only other question I have is, if Jamie was released, you would, obviously you haven't met him personally, but you've spoken to him for a long time, you would be comfortable with him living in your neighborhood and interacting with him on a daily basis?
Yeah, sure. I think his ultimate goal is to get a PhD program. So for example, if he applied to a PhD program and were accepted, I'd be happy to be his advisor and help him earn that degree. So
yeah. So it's a good thing, and he's got some intelligent people supporting him. So that's a testament to him, I think.
Yeah, he seems highly motivated and very determined to make something of his life, to make this world a better place, to improve society in any way he can. He realizes his mistakes. I think he's trying to learn from them and move forward.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think the same thing. So it's good to know that, well, I'd like to say great minds think alike, but I think there might be a slight difference in the old minds here. Well, thank you very much, Brad.
Sure.
I really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it.